Passion fruit may be one of the pricier fruits at the grocery store, but here's the good news. It's also one of the easiest and most rewarding fruits you can grow right in your own backyard. I didn't always know this. In fact, I used to think growing passion fruit would be a high-maintenance endeavor, something suited only for tropical farmers or those with greenhouses. But I quickly learned that with a bit of planning and the right setup, even beginner gardeners can turn a single plant into a lush, fruit-producing vine in under a year, and with far less effort than you might expect. I started with a small seedling I picked up at a local nursery. It looked like any other modest plant, green, leafy, and not particularly impressive, but within just a few weeks, it took off like wildfire. Passion fruit vines are climbers, which means they love to grow vertically. So I gave mine a simple trellis made from bamboo stakes and garden twine. That decision alone made a huge difference. Within a couple of months, the vine had doubled, then tripled in size, curling and climbing up the structure like it was on a mission. Passion fruit grows incredibly fast when it's happy, and seeing it race up the trellis was incredibly satisfying. One of the best things about passion fruit is that it's a hardy perennial in warm climates. It thrives in zones 9 to 11, but can also be grown as an annual in cooler areas, or even in large containers that can be brought indoors during winter. All you really need is a sunny spot with good drainage, well-composted soil, and a place for the vine to climb. Passion fruit loves warmth and sunshine, at least 6 hours of direct light per day, so don't skimp on location. There are actually several types of passion fruit, but the two most common are purple and yellow. The purple variety is usually smaller and sweeter, perfect for eating fresh. The yellow kind tends to be larger and more acidic, often used for juice. I personally prefer the purple type because of its compact size, rich flavor, and better cold tolerance. Whichever one you choose, the basic care is the same. Watering is key. Passion fruit vines love consistent moisture, especially when they're young or during flowering and fruiting. But they hate soggy roots, so make sure your soil drains well. I usually water mine deeply twice a week in the dry season, and I mulch around the base to keep the roots cool and reduce evaporation. Fertilizing is also important. Passion fruit is a heavy feeder, especially when producing fruit. I use a balanced organic fertilizer every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season, and I also add compost or worm castings to the soil to keep it rich and living. Pollination can be a concern for some growers, especially if you don't have a lot of bee activity in your garden. While most passion fruit varieties are self-fertile, they still need pollinators like bees to transfer pollen from flower to flower. If you're not seeing fruit set, you can actually hand-pollinate the flowers using a soft paintbrush or cotton swab. Just gently dab the center of one flower and move to another. It's simple and surprisingly effective. Now let's talk about the payoff. Passion fruit flowers are absolutely stunning. Frilly purple and white blossoms that look like they belong in a fantasy garden. They typically bloom in late spring to early summer, and once pollinated, each flower produces a green fruit that slowly ripens over the course of a few weeks to months. When ripe, the fruit turns deep purple or yellow and falls off the vine. You don't even have to pick it, just wait for it to drop. That's when it's at its sweetest. And let's not forget the taste. There's nothing quite like the flavor of fresh passion fruit straight from the garden. The inside is filled with bright orange pulp and seeds, packed with sweet tart juice that tastes like a mix of mango, pineapple, and citrus. It's fantastic on yogurt, in smoothies, desserts, or even spooned over pancakes. I've found that a single healthy vine can produce dozens, even hundreds of fruits in a season once it's mature. And considering how expensive passion fruit is at the store, often $1 to $3 per fruit, you'll be saving a lot of money by growing your own. Plus, it's just a beautiful, fast-growing plant that adds visual interest to fences, trellises, or garden arches. So if you've ever been tempted by those expensive little fruits at the market, don't just buy them, grow them. With a sunny spot, something to climb, and a little care, passion fruit could be your next favorite garden plant. Whether you're growing it for the stunning flowers, the juicy harvests, or just the satisfaction of producing your own exotic fruit, this vine delivers big time. Give it a try, and you might be surprised just how easy and delicious it really is.